children can't, if they don't eat, if they're hungry, they can't learn, huh? Tell us a little bit about what you do, and and I understand this is also what is this, Child Nutrition Breakfast Week? What is it called?
Yes, so this week is National School Breakfast Week, and this month is National Nutrition Month. So it's a very eventful, packed week and month. But what I do for the school system is I oversee all the kitchens and the self systems, meal planning, food, grocery orders, food costs, labor costs, whatever needs to be done, and whatever happens in the child nutrition world, I kind of manage and arrange that. Like that, labor, grocery orders, menu planning, food safety. That's also very important. All of those things I kind of manage.
And so, well, today's environment has changed so much, the legal environment and the nutritional environment. Since Robert Kennedy Jr. has come on the scene, has any of his policies affected what you do?
Not directly. The change in the dietary guidelines for Americas has happened. The update has happened. Those changes haven't affected us yet, but those changes will affect us. It may affect us within the next school year or maybe 2 years, but it will happen eventually. The one thing that did happen immediately was when the president made the executive order for the milk order. So now we are able to serve whole milk and reduced milk in the schools, but the caveat is we can only serve it during lunch. We can't serve it during breakfast. We can't serve it during snack.
Now, why is that, I wonder?
I think it was just a oversight. I think it was an oversight. They just didn't understand that each program is different.
Yeah.
It's not school lunch, period, or school food. It's a school breakfast program, a school lunch program, a afternoon snack program.
Now, what do you look at when you're planning the menus for each school? I mean, does age come into
Yes.
play?
So each age group, elementary, middle school, and high school, they have guidelines, and the guidelines can be different for each age group. The way we build our menus, we have a K-8 menu, and then we have a 9 through 12 menu, because the older kids can have larger serving sizes and things like that. They are allowed to have more calories per day versus a smaller kid. So those things have to go into consideration. But also I look at what we're gonna eat. I will tell anyone that if it's on the menu, I will eat it. So if I'm not gonna eat it, if I wouldn't eat it, I'm not gonna put it on my menu.
Well, a lot of times I look at a person and tell whether or not they're healthy. I can look at your skin and tell that you probably eat healthy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so, and it makes me feel I'm comfortable with a person. If you're going to do something, be in a business or over a particular area, practice the best practices for yourself first. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I never have. How could I go to a doctor and ask how to lose weight, and he's 400 pounds? You know what I mean?
It brings problems. It doesn't bring up questions, does
it? So not to offend any overweight doctors. I'm just saying, they just don't need to be in the weight loss area. So now I understand also you've got an initiative. You're going to Washington, huh?
Yes.
In fact, you've got to, when you leave here, you're headed to Washington, D.C., I understand.
I am.
Wow, what are you going to do in D.C.?
So, I'm going to a nutrition legislative conference, so I can learn more about how legislation impacts child nutrition. Because what happens in Washington, what happens in Montgomery at the State House, definitely affects the
all
kitchens,
of us. Yeah, right? I would imagine
it affects our school kitchens. But what we are asking for is more funding for school breakfast. Fortunately for our district, we are 100%. All of our children eat at no cost, so that's great.
It's called CEP. What is that?
Community Eligibility Provision, which is a USDA funded program that allows us to feed all of our children at no cost, regardless of the income. There's no lunch application. There's none of that. They come to
Every
school,
child.
they come to school, they eat free. We
Oh,
don't
that's
ask any
wonderful.
questions.
Well, what about the other areas in the state? What's happening with that?
So some districts aren't that fortunate. So therefore, they have to do lunch applications. They do have a paid, reduced, free system. But what we're advocating for is that for breakfast, we're gonna start at breakfast, that all students, all kids in the state of Alabama would be able to eat breakfast at no cost. Last year, the state was gracious enough to give the child nutrition programs $7 million, which was great. It was awesome. Did allow us to feed more children breakfast. This year, we're asking for 14 million so that every student in the state of Alabama could be able to eat breakfast at no cost.
Now, you remind me of when I was in the state of Florida. I was on one of the first workforce development boards we had, what was called School to Work. But as a part of that initiative, we developed a slogan that was used throughout the full system. All means all. Everybody.
Everybody.
Don't matter what color you are, what weight you are, whatever. You know what I mean? If you're mentally challenged or if you're a genius, all means all. And so I can't see where any conservatives would even, buck against all children being fed.
I agree. I don't see how people could not want students to eat breakfast for free. And that's what this week is about, right? School breakfast week. We want to highlight what we're doing in the schools. And like you said at the top of it, students can't learn on an empty stomach. Right. So breakfast is the most important thing. We want to get them in the building on time, feed them a hearty meal, and so they can be ready for the day.
So what is a typical breakfast?
So breakfast can vary, but this week we have like pancakes, French toast sticks. We have grits, eggs, and bacon. What? We have Kaneka sausage. We have those things as well. But then we have the old school breakfast pizzas. We also have things like that. Breakfast burritos. It varies. We try to have a variety of things. Breakfast sandwiches. So yeah.
What kind of activities did you have this week?
So this week, in the cafeterias, what we did a prize tray. So we want to encourage the children to come to school on time to get breakfast. So we placed stickers on trays, and if they got a sticker, they would bring the tray back up, and we would give them a prize. The prize was either a goblet, a little jeweled goblet cup, a stadium cup, and we stuffed it with things like Pop-Tarts, Nutri-Grain bars, and things like that, which are also available at school breakfast too. We also have cold options like the traditional cereals, Nutri-Grain bars, Pop-Tarts, and things like that.
Now, I understand. Now, did they pull out the vending machines that were selling, I guess, non-nutritional products?
So that happened prior to me, but yes, our school's vending machine, any vending machine that's on the campus that students are able to use, have to have certain snacks in it. It can't be just a free for all. It has to be something called Smart Snack Compliant, which means it has to meet certain guidelines.
So it sounds like you have to have continuing education, huh?
Absolutely. Yes.
Let's go to the phone line. We may have a question for you.
Okay.
Viewpoint, you're on the air. Good morning. How are you?
I'm hoping I have enough transportation moving around for the people to get the places that they need to. I guess I'm not really about that, but there were so many other, do you have any other guests? I heard the people that remember this about the years that we from the years of the past. I know there are a lot of programs getting started for the future, but I wanted to see if any calls were called in and share that experience from the years.
Well, we're going to get into that after 8:30. After she leaves, the line will be open to get into it because there's a lot. There's a lot that's happened over the last 24 hours. But for right now, I want to let her focus on the National School Breakfast week.
Okay, well, I just wanted to be be sure we know that because it's just so much fun to see these faces that we know who have helped us along the way. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you for calling. 334-875-1490 and 1492 are the numbers to call if you have comments or questions. Ms. Tammy Rowe is the Child Nutrition Director.
Yes.
And so what can parents do to help you, and what can children do to help you do your job better?
Feedback, I'm all for feedback because the program is geared towards the students, right? So if they have ideas of what they would eat that I can provide them, I'm more than happy to hear that from them and encouraging them to eat something different. You know, try maybe, excuse me, maybe try food that they don't normally try at home. You know, just encourage them to at least try the food. Go into the cafeteria, get all the things that are offered and just taste it. You know, you don't know you don't like green beans until you try a green bean. You know,
Yeah.
it's amazing how many times I sit with a student and they're like, "Oh, I don't like this." Like, but have you tried?
Have you ever had it?
Have you ever had it? So then we just sit and we just eat it together. And sometimes that's all it takes is someone trying it with them.
That's very interesting. Now, what kind of activities do you have planned for the rest of the month? What is it called? The month?
It's National Nutrition Month.
National Nutrition Month.
So
okay.
in the cafeteria itself, we may do some nutrition education and things like that. At the very end of this month, I'm trying to get a corn roasting event at the end of the month to again, it was a big hit last year, but children like roasted corn, you know, and it's an event they could go outside. It's a nice weather and they enjoy that. And then there's nutrition education tied to that. The importance of corn, things that come made from corn and things like that. But throughout the month, on our social media page, I'll just be posting nutrition tips, how to plan meals on a budget, things like that, just to get parents more involved and more knowledgeable to, you know, how to have a healthy home as well as having them healthy meals at school.
Now, what is your social media page?
So it is Selma City Schools Child Nutrition Program. Yes.
.org.
No, it's our Facebook page.
Okay.
So usually when I post something, Selma City Schools also like shares it out as well. So it'll be on the district site for the most part, and it's just like fun facts, nutrition trivia, and tips on to how to do healthy things at home.
Okay, all right. Anything else that you like for our audience to know, particularly parents and students and people in the community at large?
So for our parents and students, we serve breakfast daily. We have a hot option, we have a cold option. Some schools start at 7:15. That's Sophia P. Kingston. Breakfast starts at 7:30 at the other schools. Like encourage your students to come eat breakfast with us because it is a very important meal of the day. Lunch is served at all schools as well, and the community is open to come visit any school. We will serve any visitor that comes to the school.
Oh, okay.
So feel free to come eat school lunch with us.
Is there a fee for the lunch?
Absolutely.
I need to make sure.
Absolutely. But it's relatively very cheap.
I'm sure it's
Absolutely.
really
It's
minimal
$5
fee.
a tray.
Oh,
yeah, $5 a tray. You get 5 components. You usually can get a milk, a meat, a vegetable, a fruit, and a salad for $5.
Sounds pretty good. That's a pretty good deal.
I think so. I think so too.
Well, that's all right. Well, we certainly hope that you have a successful trip to Washington and that you enjoy the not convention, but I don't know what you call it.
So it's a conference. So it's a conference as well as we'll be at the Capitol as well. We're doing both things.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Hey, goodness. Well, I don't envy you though. Well, that's fine. Well, I know you said that you're on a schedule this morning. Anything else that you like to say?
No, that's it. Just come eat school lunch and breakfast.
Well, keep us informed. Keep me up with, let me know how things go, and I know that you're going to be continuing as an organization, I'm thinking to lobby Montgomery to get so that all children can have a breakfast. All children,
regardless of income, regardless of all things.
That should be a no-brainer, that's more important than some of the instructional materials.
And they have to be at school, right? Like we have to have them be at school, so why not be?
So they might as well eat. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Rowe.
Thank you.
And we'll look forward to having you come back and give us an update on how things went.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, we're going to take this break and we'll be back with more after these messages. Okay, that wasn't too bad, huh?
Not at all.
She did well.
That was great.
Yeah.
You have to drive to Birmingham or
No, I'm
Montgomery.
driving out of Montgomery, but the amount of things I have to do before 10:30.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
What time is your flight taking off?
Well, it just got boarding at 12 o'clock. I got to pick my deal popped off.
You're going to try to get them done this morning?
Yes. Yes, I'm not gonna go in here looking
As long
like
as you
this.
pack,
Oh, well.
as long as you pack.
I am packed.
Yeah.
I'm packed. Nicholas is packed. I gotta drop his stuff off at my mom's house and I will hit the road.
Okay.
So, but yeah,
Well,
thank
You
you
have
so
a good
much.
trip.
Safe trip.
Yes, sir. Yes, I
Have a
will.
safe trip.
Thank you so much, Ms. Village. I will see you next week.
Okay. No, I see you after spring break.
Yes, you're not coming here next week.
I thought you weren't gonna be here next week. I
I
thought
thought
you.
you come in Friday. I think I got some stuff to finish up for.
Okay, okay. I think it went well. Yeah, for a short time, she did well.
How are you today?
What about you?
Fine. Just busy. It's gonna be a busy weekend, you know, starting today.
You gonna cover all of it?
I'm gonna be very selective about what I cover. I used to cover everything, but that's not necessary anymore. So, but I'm gonna cover what I think is people need to know about.
I see we lost another
Dr.
soldier.
Lafayette,
Mhm.
yeah, that's the,
I think I interviewed him years ago.
oh, really? Mhm.
I think I interviewed him.
I got to know him quite well,
Mhm.
you know, he and his wife, but they were just a really nice couple.
And
And,
even sick, because they seemed like they were shocked that he died.
well, you know, I think the last time I saw him, he was in a wheelchair. Last year, I think he was in a wheelchair when he, crossed the bridge. And so, well, 85, his health he was probably deteriorating, but I don't think he was in any, I don't think he was suffering from anything that I know of. But his son said he died of a heart attack. Yeah, so, but that could be any number of things, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought they were shocked.
Well, it probably would have been a shock anyway, just like Jesse Jackson, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Jesse Jackson, now we kind of
We
expected
knew it
Jesse
was gonna be a
Jackson.
matter of time,
We knew
yeah.
it was coming,
Mhm.
but Mr. Lafayette, I think that caught everybody off guard.
Yeah.
And then Bland,
Joanne Bland, you know,
I heard she had been sick, but
I didn't know. Yeah.
but I felt bad because Lafayette, he was supposed to be honored this weekend.
Yeah, well, but one good thing about it is he was honored quite a bit before he passed and
So
told
he
him that.
received his
He did
flowers.
get some of his flowers, yeah. Can never do enough, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But no, I think he understood that people appreciated what he did.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay, well, you have a great weekend.
Yep, you too.
I won't be up here this weekend because I am working a little part-time job, so I won't be up here. I came last year, brought my baby so he could get the experience.
Oh, yeah,
This
I
year
remember
probably
that,
would have
yeah.
been better.
Mhm.
This year might have been better because he's a little older, but I'll wait next year.
That's the bottom line. Well, you have a good
Because
weekend.
last year was year 60, this is year 61, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
But every year it's getting better.
Time is passing, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, guess what?
What?
Here's your message. It's just getting here as you're leaving, huh?
Crazy. Okay.
All right.
Good one.
Yep. Oh, it looks like she just sent you. She just got your text too.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. Uh, the one reasons why nobody wanted to, they wouldn't choose Selma was because the black people were too scared and the white folks were too mean. But he learned how to break all of that down. But now he had some dangerous times. He talked about his encounters with Sheriff Jim Clark. So a lot of stuff. But I'm going to replay the interview that I did with him. He's been on Viewpoint at least twice. And I remember, in fact, if you go to the selmapostherald.com website, the homepage, you'll see a picture of him right under the slogan "History in the Making" and under the uh, Selma Jubilee weekend / Bloody Sunday. All of that is, you'll see his picture. And it's a picture that I took of him when the street was being renamed in his honor. Um, Dr. Bernard Lafayette Street, on the corner of Bernard Lafayette Street and First Avenue, 2 blocks from R.B. Hudson. And so he'll be missed. But the good news is that he was honored several times, and people showed them that they appreciated what he had done. What's remarkable is that he lived. I don't mean to laugh, but I'm sure he would appreciate me laughing, as there are a few other people listening right now who understand, but he was doing a dangerous line of work, and he skipped having a tragic death on several occasions in the 60s. So he also talked about sometime, I don't know how much he shared with it in general, but privately, in different settings, he's been working behind the scenes on a lot of important newsworthy events, hostage negotiations. He was a man of peace. All of his strategies were about nonviolence and a nonviolent strategy. So hopefully in the future, the next generation will remember him for uh, and understand the power of nonviolence as opposed to intimidation. And you start burning buildings down and destroying neighborhoods, and uh, you know, uh, attacking the police, and the old saying says you can get more flies with honey than you can vinegar. And there's a lot of I don't know if they even care, and so a lot of these things I'm watching, doesn't make sense. Uh, to really appreciate it, you would have to go through Harlem, New York, before Bill Clinton's foundation. And although I don't know of anything outside of that block now, 125th Street in that area, if it's anything else other than that area, it looked like a war zone from the 60s, from the rioting that took place in the 60s. And so what it means is, and I think it really came into back into focus in Minneapolis. At the end of the day, the business community said, we're not going to reinvest in that community so you can burn it down again. If you burn down a person's business, if you burn down, millions of dollars of investment in a neighborhood, and then people just burn it up for whatever reason, and then expect those companies to come back and provide jobs and services, doesn't work that way. That's what I mean. There's no common sense. And many times, many of the people uh, who are agitating violence, especially like the night marches and all the other stuff that they do, don't even live in these communities. They don't care. They're paid assassins, in my opinion. They're hired guns to incite and to get people riled up, if you will. There's nothing wrong with rhetoric. There's nothing wrong with knowledge and information and freedom fighters. But the spirit of the true freedom fighters and the foot soldiers in Selma, and the Black Belt, the foot soldiers were not violent. They were warriors for love and peace, and they were peaceful protesters. Bloody Sunday, the protesters were having a peaceful protest. The violence was perpetrated on the protesters, not the other way around. Now we got almost just the opposite, to some extent. And then when they defend themselves, we blame them. You throw and hit somebody in the head with a bottle of water that's been turned ice. That's the equivalent of a brick. And when they react, then you say it's their fault. You blame them. Things that make me go, It is 8:35. I'm going to get out of here by 9:30. Now, I do have a scheduled guest at 9, and we'll see if he comes. And again, this morning, a lot of things going on. 9 o'clock, the Warren Clinic. I can't stress enough how important that is. I mean, that's a good break. But now I must tell you now, the last couple of Warren clinics that we've had over the last year, there's been several. And I'm glad to see that people took advantage of them. They turned out and they were working it out, and if you can save yourself some money and headache, and certainly if you don't have to go to jail, for something simple like failure to appear or some traffic ticket that you can't afford to pay, and maybe they can make arrangements for you. You can certainly reschedule a time to go to court. What's interesting is in many cases, the person may be just completely innocent, just afraid to go and deal with the system, afraid to go to court. And it's not as bad as you think it is many times. But again, these are for misdemeanors. Now, if you've got a felony, that's a different story. They're not telling you to come. Don't go down if you're accused of murder, and you need to talk to a lawyer for something like that. But for misdemeanors, they are willing to find a way to work with you at this Warrant Clinic. State Senator Robert Stewart and other organizations are partnering. They're going to have food, entertainment, and activities for the children, I understand as well. Now, 10 o'clock, historic Brown Chapel AME Church. You know, Brown Chapel AME Church is one of the most recognizable structures in the world. And Pastor Strong corrected me the other day when I said behind the Edmund Pettus Bridge, as equal to the Edmund Pettus Bridge for us in Selma in terms of recognizable symbols, structures. Edmund Pettus Bridge, you know, in Brown Chapel AME Church. Those are great assets to our area, and it helps with tourism. And tourism helps fuel traffic, and people spend money, and we get taxes, and then we can fix the streets. Huh? Viewpoint, you're on the air. I'm doing fine. How are you this morning?
Man, bless, not the best. But I know a lot going on. We lost some of our iconic leaders, you know, Mr. Jackson is starting to do celebration of life today. He was an iconic figure. There's no bridge crossing without his presence. So we should always remember for them.
And then, of course, did you hear about Dr. Bernard Lafayette passed away yesterday?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. So we got some job for instrumental in this weekend. Being what it is, you know, supporting this weekend. So I love people and old people too should never forget these people. But I just want to, you know, chime in and say thank you for all that they represent. And I just want to say a little quick to what I before I get to my last point, you know, but I feel you know, as much as we appreciate this region in our city, just from the infrastructure, you know, we're put on the world pedestal. And here we are dealing with our dilapidated buildings that people come to see. I know people want to hide behind it, but we cannot do that. We have to do something to be better prepared to represent our city better. You know, I don't know what it's going to take, but we have to. Our leaders have got to make sure that this thing becomes better.
Well, you know, sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees. I think we're making progress, but it's taking a long time to get there. We're hamstringed with the lack of resources. But now the good news is in Selmont, Highway 80 is being completed. You know, and the service roads. I think they've done the Alabama Department of Transportation has done a wonderful job. I was a little worried in the beginning. Those schools and those, as I mentioned to you previously, people are concerned about mediums and those comings of time, and you know, those things are dangerous. Tell me about it. I hear you. Yeah, you know, I one of my something shook loose on my car, and it just created a whole chain reaction of events. Well, the dangers running around our state or county or city officials are listening. It's the cutting edge on Roosevelt Avenue out there, you know, I'm telling you, brother, so dangers accident waiting to happen. Yeah, I haven't been down that way in a minute, but I know it was like that in the quarters for a while too. They finally kind of smoothed it out, but that was because of the service roads, and so. But I hear you. I was concerned about that as well. Well, if you ever get a chance, if you take photos of somebody, I know that's right. And a lot of people come here because they want to help Selma. They appreciate Selma's role in history. Speaking of which, we got a positive thing going on today, and that's the Southside Panthers. How about that?
With jubilation, I was leading 65 yards. I was at the game on Tuesday, and I tell you,
Oh my goodness! I don't know if I'd want to be at that game. When did the last 2 points come?
in the last 30 seconds,
Oh no! See, my heart couldn't take it. I don't know if I could take it or not.
the determined group of young men, they never gave up.
Wow.
And as a former champion of the school, I'll say this, been a 40-year journey. I told them we need company up on that line at Southside. We're proud that we accomplished. We hope they can seal the deal today with the championship.
Now I understand is there a caravan leaving around, starting to congregate around 11 o'clock at Southside?
Everywhere, yes. I'm not sure what there's a lot of different. Yes, that's a travel base and everyone that's going to trucking because as much as we like to do that, but sometimes not control a unsafe situation with that kind of travel. So I hope everyone's safe journey up, safe journey back.
Yep, and you need to leave it enough time so you don't have to hurry. You know how that Birmingham traffic can be, and especially Interstate 65.
And if I may, I need to applaud to say those that know the back road, you're better off taking the back road through Centerville.
Ah,
Everyone knows that.
yeah, I guess that's right. Yes, sir. That's them. Yeah, yeah.
2059 in Bessemer.
Right. Yeah, yeah. That's probably that's a good alternative. But you need to know where you're going too, though, huh?
Well, it's a pretty easy route once you know it. But we just want to say, kudos to Selma. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of people leaving Selma, representing Selma. We'll be in Birmingham, but we're still representing Southside Selma.
There's a lot of Southsiders that live in Birmingham in that area. So I'm sure you're going to see a lot of folks from Selma that live up there at the game.
Trains are coming over from the line. We're proud to be at the championship, so we're driving over from the line.
Yeah. See. Yeah. No, that's good.
I know we're rival schools, but we still represent Southside Selma.
Well, yeah, but I mean, how many people are related to each other from Selma in Selma? You know what I mean? And throughout Dallas County, that's almost as bad Montgomery as far as that's concerned. There's a lot of folks related to each other.
Yes, and today is the battle of Selma and Montgomery. I don't know if you
They're doing what? Oh yeah, yeah. That's just right. Yeah, oh my goodness. So there's a lot of that's what I mean. That's just another example, but I'm glad at least that we're it's the top two. We're at the top, huh? All right, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for calling. Okay, let's take this break, and I'll be back. My day was already started. I've got a long day ahead of me too, and so. But I was really, really saddened by the news on Dr. Bernard Lafayette. I got to know him pretty well, and we had a pretty good relationship, and his wife, and just it hadn't been that long ago that we spoke. Um, and so let me say good morning to everyone who is here visiting. Some who are from here who have left and live in other places who have come back. And then you've got a lot of people just throughout the nation. Welcome to Selma. we want you to enjoy your visit, and we want you to come back, and so this is going to be a pretty busy weekend. And this morning at 10 o'clock, Brown Chapel AME Church having their re-grand opening. They're having a ribbon cutting for reopening, a soft opening for the sanctuary. Viewpoint, you're on the air. You're on your way to Birmingham? Oh no, you're on your way here. This is okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. All right. How long? Because I'm gonna have to leave out of here around 9:30. Okay. About how far do you think you are from us? Okay. Good. Let's just hope the train doesn't stop you. You're at the usually the train hears about it and then it comes so it can stop you from getting here on time, huh? Yes, sir. Okay, well, I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, gotcha. All right, that's Mr. Dave Fulford. He's coming in to bring us up to date on housing and what's happening with that. And that's a real big issue, the housing issue. In fact, former Mayor Reverend James Perkins Jr. on yesterday talked about and hoping that housing remains a priority as we move forward. Let's take this break, and I'll be back with more after these messages. Mhm.
In today's world, repairing your vehicle to showroom condition demands cutting-edge technology. That's what you get at the all-new George's Paint and Body Shop in Selma. After tornado damage total reconstruction, George's has the latest advanced technology, especially designed for today's multi-tech vehicles. The Bosch calibration system restores safety features like lane departure and collision sensors. The two new Chief Frame machines and computer laser measuring system delivers pinpoint accuracy down to the millimeter. And the two new downdraft paint booth units provide perfect quality refinishing. And with the reconstruction comes a much larger facility designed for an increased capacity and quicker turnaround time. George's deals directly with your insurance company, but they work for you. Call to schedule your estimate and repairs today. See the pros, Eric and Scooter Hagen at George's Paint and Body Shop, 1215 J.L. Chestnut Junior Boulevard, or call 334-872-1441. Your new George's Paint and Body Shop has reopened in Selma. By George. Banking the way it should be at First Cahaba Bank means you never have to worry about the season or the weather with online banking. It's always there and always on, 24/7, 365, even on holidays.
I'm Richard Walters, president of First Cahaba Bank, here to let you know that all of our online banking resources are open. Personal and business customers financial resources without having to come inside the bank. And visit firstcahaba.com to get on Selma, Troy, or Gulf Shores for any questions or information. Banking the way it should be at First Cahaba Bank means we are constantly focused on satisfaction. We would love for you to join our growing community bank family. First Cahaba Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We're with Barry Parker at Reliable Chevrolet and GMC, where warmer temperatures are happening, and so are some pretty warm deals right now.
That's right, George. We invite you to come by and see us for all your transportation needs. Looking for a new Chevrolet or GMC with the warmer weather coming. And we got some hot deals. We got specials going on with all the rebates and special financing on these new Chevrolet and GMC products. So if you're in the market, come by and see us.
One of the hottest automobiles on the market today is that Chevy Trax.
That's right, George. The good part about it, you can get in a brand new Chevy Trax for less than $25,000. So if you're looking for something to send your child off to college, or they're turning 16 and they need their first car and you're looking for something that's quite good in gas mileage and fairly inexpensive, come by and check out the new 2026 Chevrolet Track.
Now, let's get on up to the SUVs. It's got to be that Chevy Tahoe, one of the most popular SUVs on the road.
Chevy Tahoe or GMC Yukon, whichever one you're looking for, we can get you fixed up and get you riding today. And I tell you what, if you hadn't driven one, you need to come take a test drive. Just see how nice the Tahoe and the Yukon are.
And if you want the pickup truck, the Silverado or the GMC Sierra, different packages available, and you can get the right one here at Reliable.
That's right, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, small engine, big V8, or even a diesel. We got you covered. Come by and see us.
Reliable Chevrolet and GMC.
Located right here in downtown Selma at 14 Florence Street, right across the street from the post office, 872-2337. Or check us.
1490 WHBB Viewpoint, you're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Randy. We have had to memorialize the memory of a lot of great and forward-thinking people. Just all of them. And I'm not talking about local, but near and far. You know, and it really is a time to reflect. And I appreciate the life of Dr. Bernard Lafayette. And you know what my story would be along with him and my brother's work, and how he made assignments, provided assignments of different ones to go in different directions in order to continue to unify our nation. So anyway, I also called to tell you that I'm so glad that you've given this opportunity to us to have those reflections, to have Reverend Strong, Dr. Strong on this past week, and to have had others that have made the contribution and all that you have covered about joining. You know, I watch a lot of YouTube, a lot of programs on television, and they're reminding us that we are the generation in order to be sure to give our children better information in order to help to continue to fight, because it seems as if we're forever going to be in a battle in order to fight what is fair, what is equity to every and all of the trickery that has been played because the games have been exposed. I'm saying I love it so well. I want everybody to enjoy this weekend. I have always enjoyed having our Jubilee since we got started. Those of us who worked on in the early years in order to promote it. Everything is just wonderful. And we welcome the people into town. This is from the Combs. I'm the sister of Columbus Hobbs. We work as a family team in the community in order to help our community grow. So it's just like the Perkins and so many other families that we remember growing up. We find what we have done in order to get the voters right.
Well, you know, the people should know that your brother, Cleophas, was one of the first people that met Bernard Lafayette that he worked with in 1963.
And you know, this is really close to us. Bernard Lafayette, Joseph Johnson is really close to us. You know what I'm saying? It can be some of us who are considered insignificant in society or in this world, who are very, very prominent in making something happen.
It's all about who tells the story, who controls the narrative. That's why we have to tell our own stories.
That's right, Randy. That's right. And I can buy continue to promote people. I have tried my best, you know, to empower people. And we'll see what's going to happen. Our community has to change and needs to change with the inclusion of this perspective of what they love.
Yeah, I've got some other folks trying to get through. Let me let some other people get through. But thank you so much for calling, and thank you for your service and your family service. Okay, Viewpoint, you're on the air.
Yeah, I'm in the big door.
Oh, okay. Well, let me take this break, and I'll come in and get you at the back door. I'll be there. What side do you come to the door closest to the studio? All righty. Let's see. Let's take this break, and I'll be right back as I go and retrieve our guests.
You need a tow? Call a pro. Robert Turner at Al's Towing and Recovery. 874-9808. That's 874-9808 for Robert Turner at Al's Towing and Recovery. Dave's Market now makes and sells delicious hot Hunt Brothers pizza. One topping or 10, the price is the same. That's right, no extra charge for extra toppings. And yes,
Yeah, I didn't
Dave's
think about it
also
when we
makes
last
and
week when we
sells
talked.
Hunt Brothers wings too. Both are delicious.
Yeah.
Call the store at 334-431-5267
You'd be surprised at how many people are trying to get on today.
They'll bring it up to you.
How you
They'll
doing?
make it like
I'm all right,
you
just
want,
busy,
like
you know.
Hunt Brothers Pizza now at Dave's Market,
digesting all
Highway
these,
22, Valley Green.
digesting all this death, huh? You know, 1490 WHBB. We're going to, well, you know, our guest has arrived, Mr. Dave Fulford, but that is going to be again at 9:05 when we come back from the news break at the top of the hour with the Fox News. Again, if you want to know about some of the activities going on this weekend, selmapostherald.com on the homepage has the Jubilee schedule on the homepage. Also, you'll notice that the statement that was made on the floor of the House of Representatives by Congresswoman Terry Sewell regarding Bloody Sunday, that is up. A picture of Dr. Bernard Lafayette when he was when the street was being named in his honor. You'll see his picture also before the schedule and before Congresswoman Terry Sewell's statement. And in the future, there's a lot, we've got a lot. I've got an archive, I have a library of people who, including Jesse Jackson, and in a full interview with Dr. Bernard Lafayette, where he kind of tells us the history. All of that's coming in the very near future. Right now, though, let's get ready for Fox News. Up next on WHBB Selma, and we'll see you on the other side of the news for the final 30 minutes or 25 minutes of Viewpoint this morning. Fox News is next. It is 9 o'clock.
Trump calls for Iran to unconditionally surrender. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. More on that in a moment. First, more economic concern amid the Iran conflict as oil prices keep surging, up about 10% today, and stocks keep dropping. The Dow plunging more than 800 points. And adding to the concern, this morning's jobs report. Instead of an expected increase in hiring, there was more firing.
The U.S. economy lost 92,000 jobs in February, and the unemployment rate rose to 4.4%. Also, revisions to December and January reveal 69,000 fewer jobs created than previously reported.
That's Fox's Jenny Casolo. Now, the price of oil is at almost $89 a barrel. Last Friday was $65. The price of the gas pump up 33 cents in 4 days. Energy Secretary Chris Wright tells Fox that's temporary.
Iran has been an escalator of energy prices 47 years, the whole history of their regime. You've got a little bit of an interruption right now to finally put an end to their ability to wreak havoc.
Back to the president. Fox's Jackie Heinrichs at the White House.
He posted to Truth Social, there will be no deal with Iran except unconditional surrender. After that, and the selection of a great and acceptable leader or leaders, we and many of our wonderful and brave allies and partners will work tirelessly to bring Iran back from the brink of destruction.
This as the U.S. and Israel continue to bombard Iran a seventh day, knocking out an Iranian drone carrier and missile launchers as Iran keeps sending missiles into Israel that are shot down. The president also told CNN this morning Cuba is going to fall pretty soon. Another Republican plans to leave Congress, and Fox's Jessica Rosenthal reports this one's in scandal.
Congressman Tony Gonzalez says in a social media post after deep reflection and with the support of his family, he's decided not to seek re-election, but will serve out the rest of his term. Some Republican House members have pressured him to end his re-election bid after he admitted to having an affair with a staffer who later committed suicide.
Gonzalez was facing a May primary runoff in Texas against a Republican challenger. America's listening to Fox News.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at
Okay.
ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Hear that?
Down to 0 point.
That's right. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping
Yeah,
sound.
well, you blessed, huh?
Yeah, he said it was
ZQL
more
Pure
aggressive
Z's
right now.
are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer
Yeah,
Monday.
I'm feeling better.
Let's do
That's
this
good.
Monday. ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep.
Yeah.
Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Well, back to that sell-off on Wall Street. The Dow is plunging 755 points. The Nasdaq dropping 250. The S&P 500 falling 89 points. And again, price of oil up to almost $89 a barrel. Gas is up 7 cents. AAA's national average for regulars is $3.32 per gallon this morning. A week ago, it was $2.98. Diesel's up even more, 58 cents a gallon more today than last Friday. There's a new Fox News poll on economic policy.
A record 38% of voters said in a new Fox survey that it would be good for the U.S. to move away from capitalism and in the direction of socialism. That's up from 32% in 2022,
They don't have
which is
nothing
the
else to
last
talk
time the
about.
question was asked. Voters over whether capitalism in the U.S. is working well. 51% say it's working very or somewhat well, while 49% say it's
Ask the
not
Chinese.
working very or not at all
You
well.
know, see
And
how
if you
well,
break it down
how well
party lines,
socialism works.
78% of Republicans think it's a bad idea to move towards socialism. 55% of Democrats like the idea. Jill Nato, Fox News.
Now, President Trump is concerned about college sports. So Fox Business Network's Darren Battello reports he set up a meeting about it this afternoon.
You have crazy money being thrown around. Some of these 19-year-olds driving around campus in Maseratis making more money than some investment bankers. And you have all of these deals that are just adding up more and more money, constant transfers. The president is saying enough is enough, and that's why he's holding this roundtable today. And he's not just talking to politicians like Governor Ron DeSantis. He brought in the guys who actually built these programs, from Nick Saban to Urban Meyer, Tim Tebow, Tiger Woods, just to name a few of them.
At the World Baseball Classic, Japan shut out Chinese Taipei 13-0. Shohei Ohtani had a grand slam to lead the Japanese team, and there are 7 more games today, including the U.S. opener. The Americans play Brazil tonight. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
1490 WHBB, and good morning to and welcome into the final 25 minutes or so of Viewpoint this morning. Our guest is Mr. Dave Fulford, no stranger to the WHB audience. How you doing this morning?
Doing well, right?
You want to come a little closer to the microphone?
Yes.
Yeah, that way we can hear you. Make sure we got everything. Bring us up to date. First of all, how's your health?
Well, I thank God that he has given me another chance on life. About a year ago, it was really bad. The cancer was more aggressive, and I went to UAB, and I say to any man, you having prostate problems, do not listen to the doctor talking about wait and see. Those that wait and see, the cancer will spread on their body and get to certain parts of the body, and then you can't reverse it. But I thank God that I went there. He scanned my body from head to the toe. The cancer was only in one place, and they treated that, and the results are phenomenal. The Lord has blessed me and given me another chance on life.
Well, that's wonderful. Glad to hear it. And you have been working with housing development in Selma in Dallas County. What, how many years now?
This is the 26th year.
26 years, my goodness. Now, so where are we now? Is it who's out there, and what can people look to expect for the funding that's available for housing?
Well, Randy, I just tell you, the city.
And what kind of projects?
Well, you know, the city has a good program. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people didn't take advantage of it. I was was looking on the website, they had the urgent housing rehab program and others. And those people that got in early on and followed through, I think they would get a lot of work done to their houses because the money was there. And I was just looking at USDA is still available for 62 or older, $10,000 worth of work, and you can get a 1% loan. And I just tell you, Selma is blessed, but you need to take advantage of it. And one of the problems that I found out, we wait too late. The deadlines, you got to get the paperwork in. And when you don't get
you said the key word is paperwork, though.
it,
And there are some people that have obstacles with, because sometimes,
I
my
went to
gosh.
Washington D.C. on that issue. In 2023, I approached the administrator for USDA, and I said to him, "It's a challenge." And not just in the Blackbird area.
I'm sure it's everywhere. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, you know.
You got 20 pages in the application.
Right.
And
you've got to read it.
It's a challenge. You got to be able to read it.
And then not only read it, but being able to generate the information that they're asking for, the documentation.
It is. And one of the biggest problems in Selma, you don't have enough licensed contractors. So you got a lot of people that
do the work,
that can do some work,
but they're not licensed.
But they're not licensed.
And insured.
I mean, you need three things really to be a good contractor. You need to be licensed, bonded, and insured.
Right.
And
and then getting them to come and to do the work is like pulling teeth.
It is, Randy. We have some people that we're trying to work with. In 2023, we helped them do paperwork. They were overwhelmed at USDA with all of their applications. Then there was some additional information they need, and some of these people have received applications again.
Well, this is a new crew. It's a new crew running the USDA now, and they're a lot more efficient. And I don't want to, but I'm going to say it. They're also customer friendly.
Yes.
Much friendlier and professional, and you know they really want to help.
They are. But see now, they moved the USDA downsized a lot.
Right.
In Camden, I used to go down there Monday through Friday. Anytime between those hours that they operate, they are only there from like 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock on Wednesday now. And you need to go through.
Did they move to Auburn? Did they move the main Opelika?
Right now, Opelika is one of the main areas and that they're working in, but you need to go to the website and really look at it, because what they did in the reorganization, they have what they call packages. A lot of people got a chance to learn how to go through the process to do the application, and they could be paid up to $1,000 or more to get the application put together. So what they do, they have long packages now, and they work with an intermediary, and USDA doesn't have to do the work like they used to do, so somebody else is getting paid. But like I said, Randy, you said it too. That challenge is to get those individuals to the right person to get the application done.
The red tape.
And that red tape.
Cutting through all that red tape. Now, for people who are listening now, what can you do to help them, and what do they need to, how do they start the process, and whatever happened with the office? How did that go?
Well, I have an office. I said it before. My office is down at Storyland. It's nice story building. And it's only by application and appointments, But this is the thing that I found out, man. With the new process the USDA have, it would be best for anybody that needs housing rehab to really go to the website and follow the directions for USDA. Because, like I said, I used to take your application and take it down to USDA.
Can't do that anymore. What about people that don't have access to a computer? Well, you can go to the library.
The library.
Or somebody that I'm sure. I guess this is the thing of not pulses me. For organizations that say they exist to empower folks, and they have no kind of a component to help a person fill out a housing application. They worry about all the wrong things. They don't even help people get photo IDs, but they'll lobby and argue and fuss about saying you don't need an ID to vote, but you can't get a check cashed without a legal photo ID. How much sense does that make? Wake up, people.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I'm sorry. I just, you know, if I was in that business, in the social justice business, whether it be locally or nationally, one of my first priorities would be to help people get legal photo IDs. You got to be able to prove who you are. Why are not our major organizations not saying that? Because they're politicized. It's too political. Everybody wants power, power and money, and they don't forgot about the people and they don't forgot about God.
Well, Randy, you know, you got to have, I had a situation recently. A person went to take care of some business that needed to be taken care of, and they needed that ID.
You got to have a photo ID and a birth certificate.
That's it.
You know, but you know, and what's crazy about it in Alabama is if you register to vote and you don't have a legal photo ID or driver's license, your voter registration comes with verifying your birth certificate.
That's correct.
And they do not charge you. The health department will not charge the Secretary of State for getting your birth certificate. How much, you know, I mean, come on. What more do you want?
Well, you need to be able to verify who you are.
That's the basics. That's the beginning.
That's it.
You know, and so, and when people say, oh, well, the minority community or the Black community, that's discriminatory. You offend my intelligence. I'm insulted when people say that. Because what you're saying is that African Americans don't have enough oomph or enough intelligence to go through the process. That's hogwash. No, the leadership is the problem. But anyway, I don't want to get started. Yeah. I'm really a little tired. I don't need to be on the radio when I'm tired. Look, because I'll say what I'm really thinking. You know what I mean? You know, but go ahead, man. I'm sorry. So how do people get in touch with you?
Well, you know, I have my cellular phone number that is 334-412-1681. That's the number that you can reach me at. But there again, like I said, Randy, with the new reorganization with USDA, it's best that they call USDA because they're the one that have the system set up.
And they can tell you what you need.
Packaging, yeah. They can tell them everything.
Now, what about air property? That is really a mess.
Well, Randy, we went to the meeting in Washington, D.C., and that's a new program that we'll be adding. Because like you
it's
said,
complicated.
That's it.
It's too complicated.
It is.
And it shouldn't be.
And you have to have a lawyer. So we met a lawyer in DC that lives over in West Alabama that's working with our property issues. And so that's going to be one of the newest programs that we introduce.
And then I find that, you know, in some of the legal, depending on which side you sit on legally, you know, some people and what their agenda is. Everybody's not trying to see their families keep their property.
That's true.
Some people want to position you to sell.
That's true.
So somebody else can have it later as their property.
That's true.
You know, now speaking of which, Tuskegee's got next week, I believe, they have a workshop coming up to deal with air property issues. I'll be talking about that next week, and it'll be listed on the website as well.
But that's a big issue. We went there. I didn't realize how difficult, and I think, and Alabama's one of the worst states.
I'm sure.
When I looked on it, Alabama's number 2.
Right.
And so when you look at
you've got a large number of African Americans that own air property. So I don't think that's a coincidence. It's not by accident. Wake up, people, wake up. You know, knowledge is power.
That's it.
You know, and some people get offended when you say that.
That's true.
And the leaders get offended when you say, oh, well, that ain't my responsibility. I just want to get my paycheck. That ain't my job. I just want to be the leader, that's all.
Yeah, but so Randy, I hope and pray that, we really get in line and make sure that we take care of this problem because, and one of the biggest problems that sometimes I do it offline, we don't have wheels and
Well, transportation is an issue too,
well,
yeah.
you know, that's one of the things.
Yeah.
But you know, family, I mean.
Oh, you mean a wheel? Yeah, I mean, you talking about a
wheel is
living
definitely
wheel, you
a
mean,
living
yeah,
wheel.
right,
And I mean, you know, you're not gonna stay here forever.
right.
And if you have anything, you need to sit down and make sure you put in a estate, a trust, and get it done because.
Wills, insurance,
That's it.
you know,
You need
those are things that, you know, that are really important, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Well, education is really what you're talking about, financial literacy,
That's it.
you know.
And that's what we used to do all the time.
Right.
We would do it once or twice a year, do the financial literacy and let people know. And it's amazing that some of the people that we taught early on, they have bought houses.
See? Yeah. Well, that's because they listen.
That's it.
And they participate.
That's correct.
And this is what we want to encourage people to do. And like you're saying now, go to the source, go to the USDA website.
Yeah.
If you don't have a computer at home, go to the library.
Yeah.
Well, no, your telephone. Everybody's got a cell phone.
Randy, I'm gonna just tell you.
You know,
I never ever would have thought that my telephone
do what it does, huh?
That's it.
Well, I was in in one of the NACA workshops, and it was about 200 people in the room.
Yes.
And I think one white person. And the facilitator said, this is what you have to do, and you got to do it on your phone. And Anybody that needs help, raise your hand. One person. Everybody else was able to do it.
Yeah.
My point is, people are literate.
That's it.
They know how to use the cell phone. They know how to get on the internet, and they know how to navigate it.
That's it.
No excuse.
That's it.
You know, and if you don't know, you can learn.
That's true.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Because even grandparents, they got telephones.
Well, that's what
and they use it.
Look, it was all ages in the room. I was amazed. I was
it.
shocked. That's the way. I said, I know everybody's gonna raise their hand, huh? No, everybody was on the phone.
Everywhere you go, everybody got their head in the phone. I mean, I look at that everywhere you go. Even walking down the street, they're looking at the phone.
Well, that's also is why we have to be careful about social media and all these various news narratives, because a substantial amount of the information is not true and is not accurate. But they'll have us all caught up in it, and not knowing. We won't know our nose from our ear.
Well, Ren, you got to watch AI.
Oh my
goodness. See, I worked at IBM.
Oh,
yeah. It was confidential that we didn't talk about it, but it's out there now.
Right.
And so many things are out there, it's false.
Well, they do 10 years, 15 years before the consumers even know.
I did this at the 7th. AI I'm just telling you now.
Yeah.
But it was confidential. I worked at IBM Corporation.
When computers were big.
I'm just telling you. That's it. When they were big.
When they were the size in the room.
And that's what I'm saying.
Now what you put in the room is now out your hand.
That's the reason I ended up back in the 7th. Because PCs put us out of business.
Yeah. I wonder what's next. I tell you, I'm almost scared to wonder.
It's amazing. And knowledge, the Bible say, I hate to get in there, but it says knowledge shall increase. I don't know where we're going next.
Wiser but weaker.
I'm just telling you, it is.
Yeah. It is. And we are getting weaker.
It is.
Because the people are going crazy.
That's it.
Folks are going nuts.
It is.
You know? Well, anyway, we're just about out of time. I got to get ready to, to start covering some of these other events this morning. But I was saddened by the death of Dr. Bernard Lafayette. Oh, and also, we also had some. I don't know if you knew Richard Curtis or not. You know Mr. Curtis?
Which Curtis? I knew some Curtis.
He was Cheryl Strong's brother.
Okay, I knew the Strong.
Yeah. Well, although her last name is not Strong anymore,
but
I
know.
But no, he was he taught. He was a real good man, Mr. Richard Curtis, Deacon Richard Curtis, deacon over at El Bethel, Missionary Baptist Church. He passed away this week.
Well, when I saw Joanne and the other,
when
they're coming down, but Randy, there again, we don't come here to stay there.
Well, that's right. That's the bottom line.
One thing we need to learn that even though we're here now, we're not promised the next 7.
No.
And that's one of the things that we have to prepare ourselves for.
and we need to prepare ourselves spiritually too.
Whatever, Randy, that's about our preaching. I
You know, yeah.
I mean,
you know,
I was just thinking, 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people. I mean, the thing about it, most times we live like we're gonna live forever, and we're gonna be judged. See,
until we on that bed, Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
One thing that I've learned in life, I had to live like Jesus Christ. That's the reason that we're called Christian, to be Christ-like. You can't be Jesus now. It ain't but one Jesus.
I know that's right.
But you can be Christ-like, and we need to know how to treat and do what we need to do, and realize what you do in the dark, God sees it all.
You remind me of the late Mr. George Sally. We used to talk, and I would tell him, I said, man, I don't know, it's kind of, it's not the easiest. What you mean? It ain't hard. You can do it. The proverb says, when the righteous die, we have hope.
That's true. And that's true.
Nobody knows for sure what's on the other side.
That's true.
But I know I have hope when I leave this bag.
That's it. And the Apostle Paul dealt with that. He called it the blessed hope. And so, Randy, that's one of the things that I encourage, and I say to any and every person, you need to get right with God and do it now. You're not promised.
No, that's right.
Not promised.
And at any age.
Randy,
it used to be old folks
Randy,
that,
Randy, one thing, there again, this thing with COVID, it hasn't left.
Oh, no, that's all.
I'm just telling you now. Yeah. And I look at the vision every week. You know what I'm seeing? Young, old, and in between.
Right.
And a lot of people coming down with respiratory issues.
Right.
And heart issues and other issues that are related to COVID.
Some of these guys I would think would be too young to be dying.
Randy,
from medical
but they don't listen, I'll just tell you. When your lungs and things get a problem, it affects your whole body.
Right. Yeah.
And so there again, we just have to do what we got to do.
Yeah.
And be serious about it. It ain't no joke now.
Yeah,
it's
real.
No,
that's real.
It's real.
Well, Dave, we want to make sure you come back and keep us posted on what's happening on the housing front. We know that we got a lot of issues.
Yeah, we do.
Infrastructure wise, and so we just have to keep at it. Can't give up.
Randy, I just hope and pray, like you said, if other nonprofits work together, but the chief source I would recommend is USDA. I'm just telling you, the United States Department of Agriculture, the R&D program,
right.
They do more and it's consistent.
And they've got money.
And they got money.
They're funded.
Every year they got money.
So I can get as mad as I want about whatever political party.
That's it.
But if you got the money, I need to sit down and talk to you.
That's what we need to do.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, that's going to do it for us this morning. Thank you.
For your time.
Yes, sir. And listen, we hope that you continue to heal.
Well, the Lord, I got some more work to do.
Yeah. Evidently, huh?
That's it. Otherwise, it could have been over.
Well, as an old man told me once, he says, "Make yourself needed."
That's the truth.
That's
the truth.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Well, bless.
All right. You do the same. We're going to take this last break, and then I'm going to get out of here and prepare to do some more work. After these messages, I'll be back. Yeah, man.
They got a lot of stuff. I'm going by to get some paperwork from them. They got plenty of money.
Yeah.
And
you got to apply for it.
Yeah, but see, the people, that paperwork.
Well, it's a deterrent. The people are afraid of it. It intimidates them,
It is.
And somebody really is going to have to find a way to get those guys.
Like myself, I'm just saying, man, I'm 75 this year. And I can't keep it.
That pace.
And they call night and day, early in the morning, late at night.
Yeah.
And so that's one reason my wife said, hey, you better.
Your health, you can't keep all that up.
And then when people dumping that on you, you're working with people.
Oh man!
And see, a lot of people. I got some people that have some special issues.
Yeah, I got you.
And
we have some issues here that we're gonna have to deal with somehow, no doubt.
Well, you take care, Randy.
Yes, sir. You do the same. 1490 WHBB. Sunshine's always the best medicine. I know that's right. And have a little sunshine in your life, right? Look, have a good and safe weekend. again, my condolences to the Curtis family locally, and of course to the family and friends and fans of Dr. Bernard Lafayette. We've got a busy weekend. Watch the traffic. Expect traffic delays. If you want to avoid the traffic delays going across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, then you may want to do the bypass. Brown Chapel this morning, 10 a.m. Ribbon cutting, soft reopening. And 12 o'clock, I understand the Bullitt Community Center will be having a luncheon and award ceremony for the Courageous Eight. And and then Sunday morning, I may come on live a little early. I'm here, but there's a lot of pre-recorded gospel that I record actually that runs from 6 until until 11. But at 7:30, Mamie Solomon comes in with the Randall Miller. And then at 8 o'clock, it's Reverend David Petway. And then at 8:15, he transitions in with Deacon Nelson Waters and the Silver Echoes. And then at 9 o'clock, Garden of Eden Bible Ministries from 9 until 9:30-ish. And then I'm back on until 11 with gospel music. At 11 o'clock, New Covenant Presbyterian. We had a technical issue last week, but they're back in play, and they'll be airing from 11 until 12 on Sunday. But now on this Sunday, I may come in a little earlier live, and because from 9:30-ish until 11, we're going to go to Brown Chapel AME Church and air that live stream, that live feed. At 11 o'clock, we'll go to New Covenant. At 12 o'clock, we'll go back to Brown Chapel. But not to worry, we intend to record the full service and replay it sometime Sunday evening or sometime in the future. So that's just a programming note so that you'll know what to expect. Otherwise, I'll see you Monday morning, the good Lord willing, 6 until 8 for the Great Awakening, 8:05 for Viewpoint. And I'm going to be, in Ebenezer, they've got the Courageous Free Thinkers series that will be Saturday at 5 o'clock is the reception. 6 o'clock, they've got a panel discussion featuring young people from around the country. And then on Sunday morning, Representative Anthony Daniels, I understand the youngest minority House leader, will be the guest speaker at Ebenezer. You have yourself a safe and enjoyable weekend.